Well, hello again and welcome to the third part of the tutorial and the second shot. So here we're going to do the morphing, and in the next one we will do all the lights and particles that come from the head. If you've seen the original video, you may realize that I had my mouse closed there, but the thing is that this is the original one, and I took a single frame where I had it open and just change it and I tracked my head at a null object, and that's why I have my mouth open. I just thought it had a better look like that. In fact, that's the reason why Al has his mouth closed, but anyway. So yeah, I'm going to close this. And what we want to do first of all is stabilize the image, because we want our head, our body and head to be as still as possible. But if you see here, the camera is moving a little bit. It was shot without a tripod, and also I move a little bit, and the same with Al. So what we want to do is stabilize it with a warp stabilizer that comes with After Effects. So right click, warp stabilizer, and it will start to analyze in any time. And we're going to change the result of the stabilization to no motion. And we're going to do the same with Al. So warp stabilizer, no motion. Okay, so now if we check the result, you can see that the background is moving a lot, but I'm completely in position, completely still in the image. So it has done a pretty good job. Remember that this is going to be transparent once I finish. So, and let's check Al. Yeah, it seems to be on position. So yeah, and at the end that he moves. Well, we don't care too much about the end, but yeah, he's completely still. Okay, so what I'm going to do is recompose this. So right click, recompose. Be sure to check move all attributes. So I'm going to rename this to Daniel underscore stabilized. Click OK. And here, right click, recompose, Al underscore stabilized. Move all attributes, okay. So what we need to do for this effect is we need to put my head into his body. I could do the morph effect also with the clothes, but if you've seen the original Regeneration video in the TV series, in the Doctor Who TV series, you can see that the video is the same. The body is the same, but the head changes. So I need to put my head into his body, and why not in reverse? Because he's moving at the end. And also the body moves at the end. So what I need to do is remove the green screen behind. So what I could use is the key light effect that comes in key light. Yeah, remove this, okay. Check the screen matte. This is not a green screen tutorial, but you can see that I have some noise here with the hair. So I'm going to use one of the presets that comes with After Effects. So if you go to Effects and Presets and type Keylight, you have this animation and presets, and it's a compilation of Keylight, Key Cleaner, and Advanced Spill Suppressor. So I'm going to click there. It leaves it in an intermediate result. That's if I remove the green screen, you can see that I have the green there. But that's why we have the advanced spill suppressor here. Anyway, let's check again screen mat. Let's get rid of this gray part. So, okay. Maybe it's 16 is too much. And I'm going to move this also to a lower value, just in case I have some gray parts in the body and head. So again, intermediate result, I'm going to put some screen pre-blur here, let's say 1. And to remove this noise that I have in my hair, we're going to put activate reduce chatter. So click OK there. Advanced spill suppressor. And now it seems to have done a pretty good job. Yeah, on the other hand, in comparison with only the keylight effect, it takes longer to render and to pre-visualize this. But yeah, you can see that there's some noise there, but it's not so obvious. It's more the noise that comes with the original footage. And I'm going to go to Alt Shot, and with him I'm going to use the only the keylight effect, not the preset one. Let's see if it is good enough for his shot. So okay, add some screen pre-blur, final result, and yeah, maybe there's some noise there, or maybe it's the wind. I think, in fact, I think it's the wind. I mean, well, there's some noise there also, but I mean, if you want to be real precise, again, I can go to the, where is it? The key cleaner is there, and also the advanced spill suppressor. But let's check it, just a bit of the footage. And yeah, we have some noise there. So yeah, you can go to key cleaner, put this into intermediate result, reduce shutter, and advanced spill suppressor. And now again it's going to render a lot slower, so I'm going to check just a few frames. Come on, let me check it. Stop there, stop right there. Now we don't have any noise on the edges. Okay, so what I need now is to cut my head. Yeah, I know how it sounds, but yeah, I need only my head here.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to take a mask, and I only need to cut my head at the beginning. So We're going to cut it here, here. Okay. Nice. Okay. And now I'm going to cut his body. So let's put this to a proper BN to move the time ruler. And okay, go to the first frame and select the layer and start cutting it here, because this is what we're going to use to as the body that I'm going to use in my head. So you would like to be really accurate in this one, and it's going to be only one frame, so you don't have to rotoscope. So you can be as accurate as you want to, but I recommend to be pretty accurate. So okay. I mean, I'm not being really accurate for the sake of the tutorial, but anyway. Okay, press M, none, just to check that I got it pretty well. Okay, it should work properly. Be sure to don't cut any part of the skin, because we're not going to use it. And also his hair here, we don't want it. Okay, select add. And okay, this may work. So what I'm going to do now is render these frames. So render my head, select composition, save frame as file. We're going to save it in the desktop escritorio in Spanish. So I'm going to call it Daniel underscore head, save, and save it into a PNG with the alpha. Click OK. Save frame as file. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. So al body, save as a PNG. Okay. Click render. And I'm also going to render this shot without any effect. Well, with a background, why not? Just as a reference. So again, save frame as file, Daniel underscore reference. Because I'm going to change the size of the body, of Al's body. So I need the reference of the original one. So again, well, this could be just a JPG, but anyway. Okay, and render. So now we are going to open the files that we've created. Don't blink. And don't move, I said don't blink. And here we have our files. What? Okay, let's move them to Photoshop. Okay, yeah. So here we have our files in 3 different layers. So we're going to use the body one, so I'm going to call this layer body. We're going to call this one head, and this one reference. And now I'm going to get the head and move it to the body one, put it below the body, and try to put it in place. The body is too big right now, so that's why I have my reference. So I get the reference. I'm going to put it in place below the head. We want to see the body. No, I'm going to put it above the body. I'm going to below. I'm going to reduce the opacity so I can see through it. Move a little bit, and press Command T or Control T if you're in Windows, so you can change the size. And have it in the proper size. Look at the neck and the shirt, so it should match them, sort of. Doesn't have to be perfect. And click apply, move the opacity up, take out the reference, make the head visible again, and move the body. And move the head a little bit so it matches, sort of. And now what we have to do is use Photoshop to fill the gaps here. So this is not a Photoshop tutorial, but I'm going to show you what I did. So select the body layer and the body, come on. It's just filling the places here. So I'm going to go like really quick in this one to save time.
Moving. Time's moving!
Okay, so that was fast. I'm going to save this as body. For example, yeah, why not? Because we are only going to use the body here. So I'm going to deselect the head, and well, I'm going to save it as a PNG also, and that's where we're going to use body PNG. Okay. So now I'm going back to After Effects here. I'm going to double click, take body PNG, okay, and I'm going to change the mask to add, so I only have the head here. I'm going to put the body. I'm going to move the body also. So move it. And the head. Put it on place. And also what we want to do is okay, put this to none. I want to see the layer again without the effects. And we are going to track this with the normal tracker. So track motion. And we're going to track only, I'm missing the, yeah. So we're going to track I don't know, maybe this point? No. Yeah, for example. No, I'm going to put it here. And also rotation, and put it here. So let's track it. So once it's tracked, what we're going to do is create a null object. So new null object, and we're going to apply the tracking to it. So edit target, null, okay, apply to the x and y. And I'm going to get my stabilized footage. Oh no, apply again the effect. Press M, click add. And we also want to see our body again, the ones that we've created with Photoshop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this to have more space, and I'm going to parent the body to the null object. So now the body has some movement, it's not just a still image. Although you have to check it out. For example, here we can see that we have this transparent edge. So we can just fix it moving a little bit the head. And now we can see that the body is moving just a little bit. It's something very subtle, but it moves just a bit. So I'm going to go now to Al. What about this also? As I said, these effects, this compilation of effects, take too long to render. So what I'm going to do is separate the transparent layer behind and render it and work with this effect. So what I have to do with this, it's now keep Al's head here. And yeah, what I need to do is put this to none and rotoscope his body, because his body is out of the green screen. So I'm going to press path here, move a little bit. I'm going to make it more visible. And this is going to be again a tedious work, so I will come back once I've finished. Okay, so I have added some keyframes here and there to cover the shoulders and the body. So I'm going to activate the effect and change this to add and add. I'm going to press F. Come on, press F to see the feather. I'm going to add some feather. So let's say 7 to the head and 3 to the shoulders. And I'm also going to add some feather to the head. It's good to add some feather just in case you have some dark edges, some sharp edges. So I'm going to add to render queue. I'm going to delete these ones. And I'm going to add it to the desktop. Create a folder. Let's call it Daniel close up. Why not? Create and OK. And I'm going to put some underscores here. And I'm going to save it as an image sequence, so PNG sequence with the alpha. When you render something that is going to take some time, it's good to render it with as a sequence, not as a video, just in case your render crashes or you want to change something later, and so you only have to change that part and not render everything again. So I'm going to do the same with this one. So add to render queue. I'm going to add it to the desktop, create a folder. I'll close up, click OK, create underscores here. Click save, and I'm going to render it also as a PNG sequence with the alpha. Click OK and render. Okay, so we have rendered our file, so let's go to, yeah, here we have one. It's in desktop. So I'll close up, select it, PNG sequence, okay. Desktop, Daniel close up, PNG sequence, okay. So I'm going to take this one, create a new comp, and we're going to close this, we don't need it. I'm going to call this morph in capital letters, and I'm going to move also here. Well, I'm going to put it on the top because I want to change his scale. So opacity, I'm going to move it down, and I want to scale. Okay. I'm going to move his anchor point and reduce scale, reduce it to match it. 88 is a good number. And I'm going to move this, try to match it, move it down a little bit, opacity, move it up, and okay, let's move it a little bit more to the right, maybe up again. Okay, this may work Okay, so I'm going to move it at the end, so the morph is going to begin here, but I want to put everything to the center, so I'm going to see a proportional grid. I'm going to move both to the center, so there. And now I'm going to pre-compose both of them, so right click, come on, right click, pre-compose, move all attributes, okay. I'm going to call this all on position. Okay, and also pre-compose Daniel on underscore position. Okay, and now we're going to start with the magic. So I'm going to move this layer up. This is going to be the first one, and I'm going to apply effects, revision plugins, flex morph, motion morph. And now, right now, we don't see anything. In fact, I'm going to deselect this layer, and it's like, oh, sorry, I wanted to apply this effect to this one. So there we have. So right now we don't see anything, and it's warped to layer. To what layer? To all on position. So right now this is going to create the change from one image to the other. So now it's in 100%. We're going to put it to 0%, 0 and 0. Create a keyframe for each of them. Press U to see the keyframes, and I'm going to go, let's see, the morph is going to begin before hip links here. I mean, it's going to end before hip links. So let's create another keyframe, and 100% and 100%. Perfect. So right now it's just a simple change of it's a simple change of opacity, fade in and fade on, and fade out. So motion morph works with masks. So what you have to do is create a mask to one of the shapes, and then create a mask to the other shape, and the program will know how to morph it. Let me show it with an example. So I'm going to need first to make a mask of the shape of my body here, and the fast way to do it is to go to layer, auto trace. By default I think the tolerance is in 1, but I changed it to 5 when I did it, so 5 should be okay. Let's click OK. And now I should have a mask there. So I'm going to select, but it's going to work with masks, but the masks should be opened. So I'm going to select both these two points. Right click, mask, and we're going to change it. We're going to deselect closed. So now it's going to be an open one. And so now I'm going to press M. Wow, we have a lot of masks here that we don't need. So I mean, these little points here, and I don't know where these ones are, but I'm going to erase this one. This one is the main one, so no. This one and this one. Fine. And I'm going to create a keyframe. Go to the end of the morph. there. I'm going to deselect the effect, and here is if it's we have to change some. If we need to change the mask, we should do it here. We should do it over the animation. So yeah, okay. Let's go here and change it a little bit. And okay. And we're going to do the same with Al. So I'm going to select his layer, go to the beginning, and again, layer, auto trace, okay. Press M, okay, it has created only one mask, so perfect. I'm going to select these 2 points, right click, we're going to open the mask, create a keyframe here, go to the end, and try to, well, and move some keyframes, some points of the mask. So here a little bit. Okay. I'm going to change the color. So move this a little bit. Also this, and almost there. And here we are. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it helps. So now let's go to the middle. We also have to change it a little bit here. It seems to move a lot. So I'm going to change it again to a brighter color. Okay. Okay, fine, whatever. Change that. I mean, this is very similar to Rotoscope. Whatever, you get the point, so I'm not going to work this one anymore, although maybe I would have to change something else. Well, not for now. So, damn it. So what we are going to do, I'm going to take this mask, copy, well, cut and paste. In fact, I'm going to name this mask body underscore done. Body, not bossy. Body done, and body al. I'm going to press M to see only my masks, and oh, I haven't created. Let me take the mask again here. Okay, I didn't get the. I have to get it at the beginning so I can get the keyframes properly. So again, cut and paste. Now we see the keyframes. Okay, M. Again, body. Then and body al. So now we're going to apply the effect, and we're going to make this invisible, not visible. And now, if I go to the middle, we're going to see a really weird shape. It's like, what the frack is going on here? We're going to select match vertices to off. And now you can see that at least the shape is changing from one to the other. In fact, we can select auto align, and you can see again that the shape is changing, but it's not working as it should, of course, because right now the only thing that is changing is the shape from one body to the other. So what we want to do is we have to create a mask for every single part of the body. So right now I'm going to make a quick one at the bottom. So I'm going to create a mask here, move it. So this is going to be the base. Then I'm going to duplicate because it's going to have the same base. Base al. And now it should, if you look at the command, it should be working. Okay, this is fine. Let's move it some keyframes. Okay, so check it. If I didn't have these masks, we should have. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, yeah, you can see what happens if I delete them. So I'm only going to do the morph of one of I don't know, maybe the right eye, my right eye. So you can see how does it work. I mean, you have seen it with the shape of the body, but I'm going to now create a shape around my eye, and it must be with open masks. So okay. I'm going to change this to R I. Done. Fine. Press M. Go to the end of the morph. Deselect the effect and move it a little bit. Go to the center, and it seems to be on position. Fine. And now let's do the same with Al's layer. So I'm going to lock this. I'm going to press my layer but make it invisible so we can see only Al's layer. And again, I'm going to go to the beginning, create a mask here, around the eye. Fine. Well, I should do it at the beginning, but anyway, press M, go to the beginning, move it, go to the end, move it, okay, move it again, and try to match it. So now I'm going to call this R. Come on, I'm going to call this enter to the mask. R I the al. So now look only to the eye here. I'm going to apply the effect, make my layer visible, and this one invisible, and we can see the morphing only in the eye. But the morph is going there. It's going there. It's there. And if you see like these weird edges or artifacts, you can change some settings here, like MIP map. You can change it to medium, for example, and it looks a little bit smoother, or maybe to smoothest. But I'm going to select it to standard because it goes faster. But you can see what's going on. Everything is out of. It's not on its space, but the eye, it's morphing. Because we have created a mask for the eye, for both eyes. So what we need to do is create a shape for everything. So I'm going to do it and I'll be back once I have finished. Okay, so I have added all the masks, so you can see all of them here. So there's a lot of them. In fact, you can see all of them here and all named. So we have from body to right eye, hair, nose, neck, suit, jacket, shirt. So yeah, a lot of them. But the result, I think it's good enough. So let's check it. And yeah, that's the morph. So for the next part of the tutorial, we need to render this because it takes a lot of time to render the motion morph. So in fact, we're going to put better settings, so best or ultra, depending on what you want. I'm going to change the anti-aliasing to 2x2 and the MIP map to smoothest. Anyway, we are going to have some, if I go here to the middle, you can see that we have some straight lines here. I mean, it was impossible to make the hair from the back of the head appear from the ear. So we have, you might have these kind of problems sometimes, but an easy way to solve them is just create an adjustment layer. Well, to solve them, to try to hide them a little bit. And anyway, there's going to be a lot of light and particles going around. But to hide this, you can go to blur and sharpen, fast blur. And I'm going to create some masks here. So adjustment layer, select it and create some masks. Also here. Maybe here. I'm going to add some feather to the mask, so let's say 4, 4 and 4, and just add a little bit of fast blur, so 2 should work fine. I mean, if you add more, it's going to be too much. 2 or 3 maybe. So yeah, that might work. So again, let's render this, and before render it, what we can do to reduce some render time is only apply the effect in this part of the timeline. So I'm going to slice this layer. So Command Shift D, select it, and remove the effect. I'm going to go to the end, and I could do the same, but the thing is that if I remove the effect here, it's going to transform in the other one. So we can maintain it, or we can take this layer, put it on the top, and remove, well, make it not visible, or remove it and make this visible. So now you can see that it goes, the beginning goes fast enough because it doesn't have the effect on it. So I'm going to press B, N, and add to render queue, add it to, come on, the desktop, create a folder called Morph, create Morph, save, and render it in an image, in image sequences. So in an image sequence, so RGB plus alpha and PNG does it good enough. It doesn't reduce the quality, so render. And the next video will be probably the last one, with all the lights and particles coming from the head. So let's see you in the next one. Bye.